You know, it's easy to think of digital marketing as some brand new invention. But what if I told you it's not? The tools, yeah, they've changed like crazy. We've gone from clay tablets to artificial intelligence. But the goal, the real reason for all of it, that's never changed. It's always been about building trust. Today, we're going to trace that incredible journey.
Okay, check this out. On the left, you've got a Sumerian clay seal. It's basically a simple mark that said, hey, this farmer's barley is the real deal. On the right, a modern brand logo. Thousands of years apart, but get this, their job is identical, to build trust between people who don't know each other. This is the heart of what we're talking about today. The tech changes, but our human need for trust, that's forever.
All right, so let's rewind all the way back to the beginning. We're talking long before the first pop-up ad ever existed. You're going to see that persuasion and, really, brand building were already sophisticated ancient arts.
This right here gets to a core truth of it all. We've never just bought things. Think about it. A Roman citizen buying a purple cloak wasn't just buying something to keep them warm. No way. They were buying status. They were buying an identity. From day one, marketing has sold us a better version of ourselves.
And don't think for a second that early marketing was primitive. It was deeply psychological. Merchants totally understood the power of authority. If you could say a king or a temple used your stuff, that was a guarantee of quality. They were masters of social proof. If the cool kids, the nobles, were wearing a certain fabric, everybody wanted it. They sold incredible stories, not just products. And it all came down to credibility, using what Aristotle would later call that timeless triangle of persuasion. Okay, now let's fast forward a few thousand years to the 20th century. Technology didn't invent any of these principles we just talked about. All it did was give them a giant megaphone, amplifying them so that stories and brands could get into every single home on a massive scale.
And the pace of change here was just unreal. In the 19th century, catalogs basically created a national market out of thin air. Then radio brought this friendly, trusting voice right into your living room. Then TV came along and made marketing visual and emotional in a way nobody had ever seen. And by the 80s, you start to see cable TV breaking up that huge audience, hinting at the super personalized future that was just around the corner.
This was the absolute genius of the broadcast era, when a soap company sponsored a radio drama. Yeah, that's why they're called soap operas. They weren't just running ads. They were paying for the emotions of their audience. People actually invited this persuasion into their homes because it came wrapped in entertainment they loved. If you trusted the story, well, you trusted the sponsor. And that, of course, brings us to today. The internet didn't just erase everything that came before. Nope. Instead, it supercharged all those ancient ideas of trust and community. It basically recreated the global bazaar, but running at the speed of light. This was the fundamental shift. It was the game changer. For centuries, marketing was a one-way street, a monologue from a brand to you. The internet turned it into a massive global conversation. All of a sudden, word of mouth became word of mouse, and one single review could reach millions of people, just like that.
Now, a cornerstone of this whole digital bazaar is search engine optimization, or SEO. Really, it's the craft of being visible at the exact moment a customer needs something. It's not about shouting the loudest anymore. It's about being the most relevant answer when someone asks a question.
But SEO is so much more than just a technical task. I love this quote because it captures its real power. For the first time in history, marketers didn't have to guess what people wanted. Search data gave us a direct map of human desire revealed by the exact words we type into a search bar. It's psychology on a planetary scale. So to find their way in this new landscape, marketers use models like this, the content marketing funnel. It's a way of picturing a customer's journey. It starts really broad at the top. That's all about awareness, things like views and traffic. As you move down, it tracks deeper engagement like shares and leads until you get to the very bottom, the ultimate goal, a sale. It's a whole system for turning attention into action. The modern toolkit is huge and diverse, right? But look closely at the goal of each one of these, whether it's building a community on social media, showing you're an expert with content, or borrowing trust through influencers. They are all just modern answers to that same ancient problem. How do you earn a person's belief? But now, we're entering an entirely new phase. What happens when the marketing tools we've built start to think for themselves? Well, this is the dawn of the algorithmic age. The shift from the broadcast era to the AI era is, well, it's profound.
We're moving from a model of command, where you just target an audience from above, to one of communion, where you're living among them. The goal isn't just selling through sympathy anymore, it's selling through prediction, understanding what people need before they even know they need it.
So how does an AI-powered brand actually, think? It runs in this continuous loop. First up is perception. It's gathering signals from everywhere, social media, sales data, you name it. Next is reflection. It takes all that data and tries to understand what it means. And finally, creation. It generates new campaigns, new solutions, all in real time, constantly adapting. And this leads to a huge and maybe even a little unsettling shift. With this kind of predictive power, marketing is no longer just responding to what we want. It can actually start to shape what we want. It's transforming persuasion into something more like behavior design, but for the entire planet. So, in a world where machines can predict, persuade, and create, what's left for us? The answer, and it might seem a little backwards, is everything that makes us human. This brings up a critical question, right? When the logic of marketing gets automated, what human skills suddenly become priceless? Well, the answer is all the stuff you can't code: empathy, integrity, and the ability to forge a real, genuine connection.
And this brings us right back to the eternal laws of marketing. The technology will always change, but these principles, they're here to stay. You have to earn attention. You have to connect with emotion. You must tell a compelling story and build trust. You've got to deliver real value and constantly adapt. But above all, you can never, ever forget humanity. Because at the end of the day, a real connection is the only conversion that truly lasts.
We'll end on this powerful thought. Every message that's created, every algorithm that's trained, it isn't just a marketing tactic. It's a small act of world building. In an age of automated persuasion, our choices, our ethics, our empathy, they aren't just good for business, they're how we design the future.